Hello and welcome to Messages from Above with Toni Greene. I am Toni Greene, and tonight I am so stoked, super excited to have one of my favorite people on my show, Marla Martenson. Let me just tell you a little bit about her before I go to her. So Marla Martenson is a professional matchmaker. Ooh, hear that, ladies? All my single ladies. She's a dating coach, energy healer, and the author of 4 memoirs. Diary of a Beverly Hills Matchmaker, Hearts on the Line, The Buddha Made Me Do It, and just added to that list is Worthy of Love. So excited about that one. She has appeared on over 100 radio and TV shows, including The Today Show, WGN Chicago Morning News. Ooh, breathe while you talk, Toni. San Diego Living and Coast to Coast AM. Marla, welcome to the show.
Toni, hey everybody.
Yay! So, Marla, I have been so excited to have you on the show. I have a few questions that I sent out for people to send me questions back to ask you. And the biggest question was, how did you get into the matchmaking business?
Yes, well, people always want to know that, and that's why I wrote my memoir, Diary of a Beverly Hills Matchmaker. It tells the whole story, but basically it was a fluke. I had no idea that the matchmaking job or industry existed back when I got into it about 2002. I had been an actress/waitress for 20 years, came down from Seattle, Washington to Los Angeles to be an actress, and I was at about 19. 20 maybe. I started in TV commercials, print work, acting classes, all of that. But to make a living, to pay the bills, I had to work at night as in the restaurant industry. And as the years went by, I moved to Chicago, then back to LA, back and forth, and always did some acting work, but never could survive on it. And when I was 39. Everything shifted. My father, who I was very close to, passed away. I moved back to LA. I was heartbroken. I had left my job, my apartment. Boyfriend had dumped me. I mean, everything was like crashing down. And I was 39, and I said, I needed to go get a job, right? That my funds were dwindling. And I said, I cannot put on a waitress apron one more time. And I met so I didn't go back to the restaurant industry, but I prayed and prayed. I said, God, please bring me something else. I don't know what other skills I have except the restaurant industry and acting, but please, I don't know what to do, but please bring me something. I met my now husband, and he introduced me to a friend who was taking over the management position at a video dating service called Great Expectations, gave me a job. And then from there, a year and a half later, I went to a Beverly Hills firm. And then in 2010, I started my own business. So it's, who would have known? I mean, it was, right? You're open to something else. It's the universe will bring you something. So
absolutely. Now, this is you're a fellow Gemini. I'm a Gemini. You're a Gemini. And most of my friends are Geminis. I don't know if that's true for you, but I want to know, so when you're matching people up, do astrological signs matter?
Oh, gosh, I hope not, because I can't, my job, I work with the more high-end guys, the affluent men, kind of like the Millionaire Matchmaker, if anybody's ever seen that show on Bravo. That's kind of what I do. So I work with the men, and they're so picky. I have this curse about being so visual, they can't help it. Men have to like what they see, and then they want to know more. So whatever type that may be skinny, maybe curvy, maybe blonde, brunette, more exotic, whatever, but they have to have that. So just getting the basics, the age requirement, the location, whether they want kids, the look, the this, the that. If I had to go into astrological stuff too, right, patched up. And I actually did an interview with Teresa Reed today, the tarot lady, and we brought that up. And she said, you shouldn't go by that, but you can learn if you're with, so example, Teresa and I are both married to Virgos, and we're both Geminis. We have the same birthday. And she said, we both looked that up, and that supposedly Virgo's the worst match for us that could be in the zodiac, right? But she said, you use it as a learning tool to see what you can learn about the person and all of that. So
Exactly. And
I together 15 years, so I guess,
yeah, exactly. I think that yeah, it's not just the sign. There are so many other things that make us compatible
Yeah.
with. Um, so, what is your number one? I can't work with this person in the matchmaking business.
Well, a challenge would be, let's say, so the men are visual. Of course, they're going to like young women. So if a guy
Yes.
comes to me, like, let's say he's 65, short, fat, and bald, and he says, well, I want a 35-year-old who looks like Heidi Klum. I'm going to say, well, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not going to take you on as a client. It would be too much of a challenge for me. And there are some guys out there. There are still men over 50, over 60 who still want kids. That's a big challenge for a matchmaker.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Unless Mick Jagger or Rod Stewart or something, it's challenging for just an out regular man out there to be over 60 and want to start a family with a young 20 or 30 something year old.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, if somebody's interested in working with you in the way of conversation, matchmaking, sorry,
Right.
matchmaking, how would they contact you? And what is the best thing for them to do to get the best possible match?
Oh, yeah, just go to my website, which you'll probably have up. It's marlamartenson.com, MarlaMartenson. And there's a section there. It says matchmaking, work with me. And then you can fill out a form, send me your stuff, and we'll talk. And I do match people all over the country. And I even have a guy in Canada. So, I'm kind of, international, I guess, right? And what
Absolutely,
can
absolutely.
they work with me? And then what else were you asking?
How they can get, and what is, I don't remember. That's my that's my Gemini mind. It's off to the next question about if somebody's had some trouble um, being matched up or with partners. Now, can certain energy heal? Because I know you do energy healing. So, can certain energy healings help somebody get unstuck or get on a new energy wave for a new partner?
Yes, I also do some coaching, and in that, I will do, if they're not in LA, I'll do a distance Reiki healing and clearing for them. And it is great because I like to clear out the old energy, do a lot of work on the heart chakra, use some rose quartz,
Nice.
which brings in the love. And just, I've always got my crystals and then the selenite, beautiful selenite
Ah,
wand to clear out, use my breath and clear out the old energy. And all this, you know what? I'm going to take off my hat because look, I'm sweating. It's so hot. I'm out here in Los Angeles, and even in the winter, it's like too hot for me. I
nice.
need to come up where you are. Do you have any snow up there? So
It's like below zero right now. You don't want to
that's
be here,
about right,
trust
sweet.
me.
I'm coming up. I'm coming up. So yeah. So I love to work with because look, it's an inside job too. It's not just when you come to a matchmaker. Here's my list. This is what I want, give it to me. Like I was talking about the men who say, here, give me a supermodel. No, you've got to do work on yourself, which may be some energy work. You maybe want to get in better shape. Maybe you want to see a therapist and get over your ex or some issues you had as a child. So we want to work on ourselves.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. I do. It's really important for us to be in the right place and not bring along all that old baggage, right?
Yes. And we all
So
have,
important.
we all have something. It's just human to have, some
Yeah,
baggage.
absolutely. So, I want to hear a little bit about your book, The Buddha Made Me Do It. Because I love that title, first of all. Yes.
Yeah, this book was so much fun. I've written actually 3 memoir, and then The Worthy of Love is an ebook about how to for women to bring love in their lives, which is great for Valentine's. But The Buddha Made Me Do It was my 3rd installment of my memoirs, and I didn't even know that I was going to write it. I didn't know I was going to write another book. It's actually my 5th book because I had 2 dating advice books before. But my girlfriend Julie and I, about 3 years ago, we started on this accelerated spiritual path. And we started taking all of these classes. I mean, we went to how to learn how to use a pendulum. We went to see channelers. We went to psychic fairs. We learned about tarot and tried the Ouija board. And I mean, everything, you name it, we tried it, right? We had so much fun. And Julie, who's a celebrity ghostwriter, she's really talented. She says, "Hey, Marla, why don't you write about our journey? Why don't you write about all the things that we've tried?" And it was fun. A lot of it was so funny, funny stuff. So I said, you know what, that sounds like so much fun. So it's kind of like an Eat, Pray, Love meets Bridget Jones's Diary, I would say. And it has my husband's in it. And this was the most fun book that I have had to, that I've written. It was so much fun writing it. And I've read it myself like 3 times because we had so many great adventures. I like reliving them.
Oh, how amazing. That is so amazing. Now, tell me a little bit about Worthy of Love, because I went and read this description. I love it. It comes with a meditation CD.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, it's, I thought this was great. So like November, December was a little bit slow for me for matchmaking because all my clients, they're kind of jet setters and they're jetting around and they didn't need any matches. And then I got that flu and then I fell in the kitchen running to my office because I knew there was some chocolate in my desk drawer. So I was running on the hardwood floors and I slipped and fell. All right. So I was kind of like housebound, sniffling and I, as a Gemini, I can't just sit there and recover. So I'm like, I need to do something. And I thought, I'm going to write an ebook because I had all of this, wonderful knowledge to help women call in their soulmate with the spiritual twist. And so it's a great ebook. It has a link to a guided meditation for self-love that I did in the studio. My husband's a composer, so we have a full recording studio here. So I'm really lucky to be able to do the meditations. And then there's a video on space clearing. There's a section about chakras. It's just, I think it's a really fun book. I mean, it's going to help people do that self-work that we were talking about.
Absolutely. Now, if somebody's interested in that, I have that link on my Facebook page. I know you probably have it on your Facebook page and on your website, Marla Martinson, correct?
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. So I have another question. I'm going to kind of bounce. Oh, wait, first, before I bounce back to your matchmaking, I want to talk about Cosmic Conversations because that's how we originally met, isn't it?
That's right. My YouTube show.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about that and what, if people go there and listen to some of your old shows, what they can expect and how you started that show. What made you decide to do that?
Yeah, I think I started maybe 3 years ago now, or two or three. And I've always wanted, I was an actress and I've always wanted to be, a TV host, or I just love, interviewing people. I love doing creative things. And so I started my YouTube channel. It was first called it was called Conversations with Cupid. And I was interviewing people, dating coaches and all this. And I've been a matchmaker for 15 years, and I have such a passion for the spiritual things, the magical arts, the occult, the paranormal. I'm a para-nerd, as Patrick Keller from the Big Seance podcast would say. I interviewed him. He's great, and I was on his show. But so I found myself interviewing more people like you, Toni, more psychics and channelers. And so I thought, you know what? But my husband didn't think it was a good idea. He says, if any of your male clients see it, you might lose all credibility. They might think you're weird. And I felt that was where I just had so much fun. And my friend Karen Dahlman, who is a Ouijaologist, we do a series called The Women of Ouija, where we talk about using the communication board. And we have so much fun. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to change the name to Cosmic Conversations. And that's what I did. And I've got almost 300 videos up now. So
wow, that is amazing.
And you can just find it through Marla Martinson. And there's a link on my website too.
Absolutely. Now, when I went through, I was looking at now you brought up the Ouija board a couple of times. They scare the bejesus out of me.
Well,
They do.
I don't even have a Ouija board. I have angel boards, communication boards. All it is a piece of cardboard with the alphabet on it. So and it's
Yeah.
funny because my husband's afraid too, and he says he wanted me to get rid of my mug, and he says, what if the spirits can swap from the board to the mug? And I was just like, and I looked at him, and he started laughing himself, So I just don't know how adults are afraid of the letters of the alphabet on a piece of paper. But it's conditioned from Hollywood, from The Exorcist.
It is. But that last movie in Hollywood, I couldn't even watch the commercials on TV. It just freaked me out.
I wouldn't watch any of those.
Yes. So we have a couple more minutes here. So one of the things I want to ask you, I have a couple more. What can singles do to be more matchable?
Well, one of the things, besides working on yourself, being your best you, don't ask for things that you don't have. Like if you're totally out of shape and you want someone with washboard abs, or if you are heavily in debt and you want someone with a lot of money or a perfect, bank account. But also open up your parameters. So example for women. A lot of the women will say, I can't date a guy under 6 feet because I'm always in my heels. So I say, well, I hope you have a nice life with your with your heels. I hope they keep you warm at night because the average American male is 5'9". So I would say, don't focus so much on the physical, and the guys will get caught up on hair color, eye color, chest size, height, all these things. And the perfect person for you, the qualities, the personality, the character, I think that's a lot more important. Of course, we want to be attracted, but I would say loosen up that list, whittle that down to the non-negotiables, maybe a few. Okay, religious preference, maybe if you go to church or synagogue, non-smoker, maybe you're healthy, loves dogs because you have a dog. Cut it down to a few must-haves, non-negotiables, but leave out the other things because you don't know who the universe has for you.
Now you're a matchmaker, and you're like a boutique matchmaker, and there's all these online dating sites, and I know one or two of them might produce a few relationships, but I always, and I probably shouldn't say this, but the stories I hear from my female friends is that's the new bar scene for a lot of guys, is the dating sites. They figured out how to work them. So can you give me the difference between what you do and that, the online dating sites? Yeah.
Online is, anybody can go there. There might be married people on there, people just wanting to have fun, not serious, putting up old photos or lying about their age or weight or whatever. But I do know a lot of people who've gotten married from online. I met a couple the other in December at a Christmas party. They met on Tinder, and they're just the most beautiful couple, and she's expecting a baby. So it can happen. But the guys who come to me, they're busy, they own companies, they're flying around, and they are not going to sit there online and weed through. It can be like a second job. So they just outsource it, like maybe somebody would outsource their cleaning or, whatever, their laundry or whatever they want to do. So it's like I handle that part, and they tell me what they're looking for. I find out about their lifestyle. I go to their home if they're in Southern California, or we meet on Skype or whatever. And then I present them with the kind of lady they're looking for. And I'll often play concierge. All they have to do is show up on the date. So it's really cuts out all this work.
That's really nice. I think too, one thing for me is I've been single for a bit, and I don't want to go online. I don't want to go on a dating site, but I don't want to just go out with a stranger either. So if somebody is doing that intro, I feel like that makes such a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like big sister for the women, because a lot of guys will say, well, you have all these wonderful, beautiful women. Why are they going out? Why are they with you? Or they're not, why? And I said, because they just like I was talking about online, they don't know who they're meeting. It could be dangerous. They've got to be careful. But with me, I've met the person. I know that the guy's not married. He is serious about long-term relationship or marriage. I know that if he's allergic to cats or if he likes wine or, all the little things that might matter. Because believe it or not, I mean, I have a guy who's so allergic to cats that even if the girl has one, when she's at the restaurant, he can smell it on her clothes. He'll have an attack. So I have to check for some little things like that, So, and if you just met someone online or out, maybe, they're so great. And then you find out, she's got 5 cats.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Kids, that's a big thing. Some people have kids, some people want them, some want more. I mean, all these things. Do they have an ex that they have problems with? That they have baggage or drama? I find out all these things.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good thing, because when you look at 2 people and you're thinking about setting them up, do you get a sense, or do you know what will match and what won't? Because they say opposites attract. So
yeah, sometimes I really get a real strong feeling, and I've done that before. I'm like, I know that you guys are going to like each other, and then they do. But often they're great on paper, but you can't predict chemistry. You just can't, most of the time you just can't. They've got to sit there and talk and see how they feel about each other. Even though they both might say, wow, she was great, she's attractive, she's nice. There's just something missing. I just don't feel that romantic spark, and vice versa. So, you just have to get out there and go and go on the date and see.
absolutely. So we just have about 2 minutes left, and I want to tell you something funny. Part of the reason that I have been single for a while is when I'm sitting down at dinner with a guy, I can see all the girls that are either in his life or coming into his life.
Wow.
And if I'm dating a guy and I'm like even calling to leave a voicemail, if he's on a date, they tell me he's on. Like, I called a guy who we had been kind of talking and gone on a couple of dates, and I called, his voicemail comes on, they're like, he's on a date, and right away the first thing I say is, oh my God, you're on a date.
The guides or angels or whatever tell you because you're psychic.
Yeah. So that's part of my, why I've been single for so long. And if I don't get it, they'll show me in my dreams who they're dating while they're dating me. So I would be a tough one, I think, to set up. But I do believe that you have set up quite a few people that have led to marriages. Now we have about 1.5 minutes left. So I want you to be able to tell everybody how they can get in touch with you. So please, can you do that for us?
I can do it. Yeah, just go to my website, marlamartenson.com, MarlaMartenson. Everything's there. So you can get in touch with me there. My email's there, everything. And I look forward to it. And I love questions too. So, shoot me an email if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you so much. Don't forget to download her ebook, Worthy of Love. And if you are looking for some great spiritual stories, The Buddha Made Me Do It.
And you want a free guided meditation for self-love too, you can go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, and you can get a meditation for free. So.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. It's been an honor having you on my show. Of course, it was not long enough. I knew that. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. I look forward to chatting with you again. Thanks.